Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Cooper's Amputee Lifestyle, and I want to show you something really cool that Orcatorch sent me to do a review on. This is the Orcatorch D530V dive light. This dive light is pretty special. This is going to be something really new. This isn't just a normal dive light. This dive light illuminates red. Let's unbox it and take a look. So here's the box and how it comes in. You can see the dive light right here, and it's got all the good stuff inside of it. Let's open it up and take a look. So we have a warranty card. This is a little pan flip on all the other lights that Orcatorch carries. Looks like we got a spare orange band that goes on the back of the light. 3 spare O-rings, a charging cable, user's manual, a lanyard. This is a little ball mount joint that you can hook up to your camera tray, the light itself, and a spare battery. Now there already is a battery in the light. I made sure both of them are charged right now. The battery is a USB rechargeable battery. Here's the recharging cable that they actually provided with the dive light. These are really tiny. You can't really plug these into the wall at all. What I would recommend is buying something that's at least a couple feet long. I mean, you could power this with your laptop and it's not long dangly cord, but honestly, go on Amazon and buy like a couple 2-footers of these with the electrical box to attach to the USB section so you can plug it in and charge it. It does, however, have the little charging port on the battery itself, so you don't have to mess with a little docking station. That is nice. When you plug this dive light in to charge, it actually has a built-in light in the battery itself. Red means it's charging, green means it's full. Now, this Orcatorch D530V dive light, it actually has 3 O-rings built right into it. Right there. 1, 2, 3. They also give you 3 spare O-rings. This light is rated to be water resistant to 150 meters. That's 492 feet deep. So you could take this down to tech diving levels for you tech divers. To be able to put the ball joint mount on your dive light so you can attach it to your camera on the camera tray, very simple. Just unscrew the light. Don't tighten the tightening screw yet. I'll show you why. Put the light back together. See this button? That's your on-off button right there. The titanium alloy button. Let's position this ball joint on the bottom, opposite side of where the button is. Tighten your tightening screw down. There you go. Now you can actually get to your button while it's mounted on the arm of your camera tray. If you don't have a camera tray, then this is not going to be useful to you. That's fine. Just throw that in a junk drawer. They do offer you these little lanyards that come with all their dive lights. I don't really like anything stuck to my wrist, dangling, where I'm trying to use stuff with my wrist and then I got some kind of entanglement because it wrapped around something. I don't recommend anybody using these. Just throw that in a junk drawer or in the garbage. What I do recommend is these retractable cables. These are great for attaching to your D-rings on your BCD or backplate wing. They will not get stuff stuck to anything because they are right here against you. At the most, it'll dangle this much from your D-ring when you're trim. If you need to use this and you need to reach out with it, my retractable cable has this little switch right here. Pull it out, hit the button. Then now you have it attached to your D-ring, you're out using it, and then when you want it to go back to its position so it's not dangling, you hit this button, pulls it right up. Less dangly stuff. Not on your wrist where your wrist is now tied to something because it got caught on something. If you're diving in a shipwreck, don't use those wrist things. Use a retractable cable. So I'm going to show you how the Orcatorch D530V red dive light works. You could tap the button twice and it'll flash twice. You can hold the button down for a second and let go and it'll turn it on. Now it's going to be in its high setting. You can see the red light right there. Tap it once, it'll go to low setting. And you tap it once again, it'll turn off. Now there's a little indicator in the titanium alloy light, a little light in there that kind of shows you what the power of the light is at when you're underwater. So let's turn it on real quick and I'll show you. You can probably see that it's got a little green light. If not, I'm going to have an illustration on the screen. So when you're underwater and you're looking at your dive light, you're basically, so if the power is green, it's going to be over 70%. If the light is orange, it's going to be 30 to 70%. If the power of the light in there turns red, it's going to be 10 to 30%. And if it's flashing red, it is less than 10%, meaning your light is going to turn off underwater. So with how powerful this light is, this high setting right here, it's going to be at about 160 lumens. This is going to give you 3 hours of runtime on the battery. The lower setting is going to be 65 lumens. This is going to give you 6 hours of runtime on the battery. Now, some people are going to ask me, why do I even need a red LED dive light? Well, I'll tell you this. When you're diving at night, there are nocturnal marine life that the red they cannot see. So that allows you to kind of get closer and sneak up on them when you want to observe them and admire them underwater. Now, when you shoot pictures or video in red, it's not going to look good. I mean, you may be able to preserve some of those pictures or videos that you shoot in red by changing it to black and white. But in my opinion, this light, this red LED dive light that Orcatorch made, this would be great to help sneak up on critters. And then once you find where a critter is at, then you could turn on some soft lighting on your camera tray or your other little dive light to be able to admire those creatures. Now, you might be able to even sneak up on fish that are sleeping because the red will not bother them. They just can't see the red. We could see it, but a lot of those nocturnal creatures cannot see it. Now, any of you photographers that shoot underwater that talk about, red is a good focusing light, weigh in on the comment section below so the viewers can look and check those comments out. You don't have to be a scuba diver to benefit from the Orcatorch D530 dive light. This has a lot of different applications. Think of it this way. It's waterproof and it's a red light with a couple of different settings on there: high, low, and flashing. If you're in maybe a search and rescue organization where you're doing land nav at night and you don't want to lose your night vision when you're trying to read your map, you could basically turn this on, turn to your low setting, and you could read your topo map at night. It's waterproof, great. I would say that anybody who's hunting or camping or whatever could benefit from this light. That way it's not going to be too bright. You can read real quick with it, check your map, check out where your position is on your map, and then without losing your vision with using a bright 1500 LED light. Specs on the Orcatorch D530V red dive light are going to be listed in the description below. Feel free to take a look. I will also post a link to Orcatorch themselves in the description below so you can look on their website and browse their products. So now that we went over some of the basics of the Orcatorch D530 dive light, the red LED dive light, something new that Orcatorch has made, let's go out, take this light into some dark, murky waters of the Puget Sound, Washington, and check it out. Let's see if we can sneak up on some fish and use this as a spotting light for when we actually go and find some critters that we could film. We'll see you out there. So we're going to demo the Orcatorch D530V red LED dive light here at Redondo in Puget Sound, Washington. What a great day. It's sunny outside. Visibility is about 15 feet. Let's use this light. We're going to use it in combination with my video lights to show you what we're going to see down there. Shout out to my buddy Nate for joining me on this dive. And we're going to add a little bit of music and bounce around this dive site with all these clips mixed up. Enjoy. So we just got done diving Redondo, testing out the Orcatorch D530V red LED dive light. This light was pretty cool. It was not a bad day at Redondo. We ended up using the light to look for some critters. Once we found those critters, we turn on the lights of our camera tray so we can be able to film those critters. We even showed that we took the red light footage and switched it to black and white to show you that you can even still use these as video lights and be able to film and switch it to black and white footage. Not a bad little look, kind of a vintage kind of look to your footage. So not a bad light. You know, it was 92 feet. We took it down 92 feet. It was a little dark as we go up. The visibility was really good that day at a 15 plus visibility. So we did have a lot of diffused lighting from the sun that was shining. All in all, this is a great light. Check the description below. You'll see the details of this light. You'll see the link where you can get this light. Thank you, Orcatorch, for sending me another cool light. This was a great light to review. I recommend anybody who wants to get one of these lights to click on that link below and get it. This is a pretty cheap light. With that being said, thank you for supporting me on my channel, Cooper's Amputee Lifestyle. Don't forget to click like. Don't forget to click the bell so you're notified of all my videos. Subscribe if you haven't already subscribed, and we will see you in the next adventure. Love you all. Take care. Be safe.